Welcome to my video. We're trying to improve the EPC score on this property by doing a night storage heater upgrade. So it currently scores D55, and by changing the storage heater to Dimplex Quantums, that will raise the score to C69. So this video is focusing on the night storage heater upgrade and trying to get to C69, improving the score. So this is the lounge. This is an XL storage heater to be replaced with a Quantum QM70. As you can see, there's only one supply. That will have to have an additional peak rate supply, as there's only an off-peak supply to this storage heater. The additional heating in the lounge is a Dimplex FXL, and as you can see, there are two plugs on the right-hand side, which provides peak and off-peak supply. So this will just be disconnect and replace. I suggest putting in a Dimplex Quantum 125. First of the hallway heaters is another Dimplex XL. As you can see, it has one supply. It will need a peak rate supply, and then replaced for similar size, so we haven't got a decorating issue, with a Quantum QM70. This is the kitchen. As you can see, there is a pull-down heater. This is a Dimplex FX20, which runs on the peak rate electricity. That's quite new and will remain. As you can see in the kitchen, there's limited space for any off-peak heating. Bedroom 1. This is a combined storage heater with both peak and off-peak supplies. So it's a simple change to a Dimplex QM70. The second hallway heater is a Dimplex XL. This will need a peak rate supply, which should be pretty easy to do because the fuse board's on the other side of the wall. Replace this with a QM70. Bedroom 2. This is a combined storage heater with two supplies, peak and off-peak. So it will be pretty straightforward to exchange this for a QM70. Similar size with feet and width and height, so there's no decorating issue there. As you can see, this property has at least 300 mil of loft insulation and benefits from cavity wall insulation. It's a dual immersion hot water tank, spray foam with 50 mil of insulation, so it will retain heat very well. You have two immersions, the top one being the peak and the bottom one being the off-peak. Correct usage is to have the top one turned off and the bottom one turned on. And as there is a clock in the meter, and the meter is an economy 7 meter, the supply will come when the off-peak supply is flowing, making hot water cheaper to heat. There is thermostats in them, so when the temperature is reached optimum temperature, they stop demanding electricity and stop heating the water, and because of the insulation it will retain its heat, topping itself up each night on the off-peak. I've left links to the instructions on the YouTube channel for best usage of the storage heaters and the hot water. That covers old storage heaters and new. These are the switches for the off-peak hot water and the peak hot water. Top one should be off-peak, bottom one will be peak. There's the economy 7 electric meter, showing that it has two rates here. The previous one would have been a super deal meter with 3 rates. Two metal fuse boards, one will be peak, one will be off-peak. Sockets, cooker, shower, that's the peak one. And then the hot water marked as expensive turned off on fuse number 6. And then off-peak board with hot water on fuse number 7 turned on. So the only way to make hot water is to use the off-peak, the way that's set up. Okay. So once the work has been complete, I return to reissue the EPC at the higher score, taking benefits of the quantums that have been installed. So the first storage heater has been changed for a Dimplex Quantum RF70, QMRF70. And a new peak supply has been added down there. Previously an XL. %, low energy light bulbs. These are LEDs. They've added 1 point. Dimplex Quantum 125 RF to replace the Dimplex FXL that was there. No need for an extra supply because the FX has a peak and an off-peak supply. Brand new high heat retention controls. And in the hallway, a new peak supply down there at the bottom and a Quantum QM70RF with the new high heat retention controls, programmable and thermostatically controllable. That was to replace a Dimplex XL, which only had an off-peak supply, hence the addition of the new peak supply. In the kitchen, retained the FX20 fan heater, as there's no cupboard space. Well, the whole kitchen's taken up with cupboard space, so there's no room for a storage heater in here. Bedroom 1. In here there was a Dimplex CXL combined storage heater. So that's just come off the wall, no need to add any new supplies. And a Dimplex Quantum QM50 RF has been added, I believe. And there you go, yeah. In the hallway, another Dimplex QM50 RF has been added to replace what was previously a Dimplex XL. The XL only had an off-peak supply. You can see the trunking from the new peak rate supply to work the Quantum. And here we had an old Dimplex Dimplex CXL with 2 supplies. As you can see, the 2 supplies are still there, feeding the Quantum. No new wiring needed. This is a QM70 RF with high heat retention controls. These Quantums add sort of on average about 7 points on the EPC. So we'll find out what it scores. Hot water storage cylinder with dual immersion. The bottom one is off peak, the top one is peak. The peak rate costs a lot more to run, so keep that one off. And the bottom one is the off peak, you leave that one on. It's thermostatically controlled and it will only make hot water if the water in the tank is below a certain temperature, normally about 60. So it gets to the tap about 50, mitigating the risks of Legionella. Below you have the dual rate electric meter. As you can see from the sticker, the previous meter had 3 rates. So that would have been a super deal meter, which it's lucky it's got rid of that because they're very expensive because it's like an antiquated tariff. Going to economy 7 gives you 2 rates, day and night, which basically means 24 hours a day and 7 hours of cheaper electricity at night. That's what the Quantums and the hot water, the off-peak, charge up on. So we have 2 fuse boards here. We've got the immersion, the cheap one, and then we've got all the storage heaters on each one's got its own separate way on the consumer unit. Currently turned off. There you go. That's all right. There you go. And then we've got the peak rate circuit. So you've got the heating ring, which we probably want on, and then the lights. Hot water, keep that off maybe, because that's the peak rate hot water. So, as you can see, after replacing the storage heaters with Dimplex Quantums, the score has risen from 55 to C69. This is important because in 2025 suggested that new lettings are part of the minimum energy efficiency standards will have to score C69. So, and in 2028, existing tenancies, the EPC score will be a minimum of C69. But this is just proposed at the moment and it's not law yet, but it's good to be ready. So replacing the storage heaters, the old storage heaters with new Dimplex Quantums has added on this property 14 points. Please browse my playlists for more information on minimum energy efficiency standards, also known as MEES.